Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HCB. Hope all is well today. Hope all is good. I've had a bit of an interesting day today, but it's been sorted and all is well. Look, before I start, same message as usual. If you're one of those people that come back, please do me a favor, subscribe. And if you're one of those who are new, subscribe, like, and comment and engage. Look, I've got a blockbuster sort of an episode today, full of a lot of news and discussion. So this may take a bit of time, but that's okay. I don't mind talking all things rugby league. But before we start, I'm sort of just trying to find out a name. I've got the rugby league broadcast news, but I'm trying to think of something that's probably more appealing at this stage. But I'll stick with that for now, but just stay tuned because just letting you guys know that the name of what I do may possibly change, and that may go for a few other things as well. But look, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I want to start off with a bit of signings today, rumours and things that have happened in the last couple of hours or the last day or two. First things first, as announced just recently, Dallin Watene-Selesniak is now officially a Warrior. And obviously as a Warriors fan myself, the way I look at it is, there's not much to say. From a point of perhaps hope and success, I hope it's successful. There's not much there to really say or how I feel. I wish him all the best. And look, as a player, especially back in Penrith, he had his really good, I guess that's where he probably produced his best work. Obviously, in the Bulldogs, it's been a bit of an up and down sort of a career for him there. But I'm hoping that being at the Warriors can sort of reignite something there. So look, as a Warriors fan, sweet as, it's good to have him on board. Let's just hope that he delivers us the chocolate cookies. And in breaking news, former Warrior Chad Townsend is now signed with the Warriors till the end of the season. So there you go. Again, I feel very indifferent here. It's weird. These Shaun Johnson, these Chad Townsend. Let's get Chad Townsend is what they said. Again, I'm not going to, sort of throw dirt at this. Look, the way I look at it, obviously we need some experience, and who else to call but a premiership winning player, right? So in that regard, it's good. As to what sort of structure they're hoping to play with, I'm not sure. What does that mean? Does that mean O'Sullivan goes? Does it mean Nikorima goes? I'm not too sure, but that's the way it goes. So again, welcome back, Townsend. I know you're only here for just a bit of rent. We're just renting you for a little bit, but that's cool. Again, we'll just see what happens. All things Warriors related. It's just about you got to accept it, right? So there you go. Robert Jennings, Penrith player, has re-signed with the Penrith Panthers till 2022. I think that's good. He's a good, sleek player. Is always available to cover multiple positions. And look, he's a good player, and he's a bit of a journeyman too. And I think it's a good sort of news and good player to have there for the Penrith Panthers. In other news, Braden Trindle has re-signed with the Sharks. Yeah, I think that's cool. He's a good halfback. He can play halfback. He can play 5'8". Bit of a utility role as well. You can't go wrong there with signing, sort of like reserve bench player halves. It's not a bad thing at all. And he's there with the Sharks till 2023. So Sharks, good work there. Another one as well is, so as we all know, Matt Duffy's sort of contract and sort of saga is sort of up in the air at the moment. Teams have been inspecting him, and a lot of teams have pulled out as well. Yeah, look, the thing with Matt Duffy is obviously we saw the glimpses of brilliance against the Broncos, and then we see the exact opposite against the Bulldogs, and I guess that's probably why clubs have pulled out. I'm not too sure if it's an attitude problem per se, but there is sort of some light at the end of the tunnel. A Super League team is interested in his signature. And look, considering the player he is, what do you sort of do in that position? I'm not too sure, but there you go. Shaun Johnson reportedly signing to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will, I think, for the most part, look very good in the backs department. Obviously, I'm assuming that it'll be the Matt Burton and Shaun Johnson, if he is to sign, sort of combination going on there. Again, as a Warriors fan, I feel indifferent about him coming. Obviously, there are cases for and against, but look, if he hasn't signed, then that's the way it goes. But for the Bulldogs, I think it's a good buy for somebody who is sort of aging like fine wine to a degree. As you can see, he's very good at what he does now currently for the Sharks, and it's going to be a big loss for them. However, as you can see, they've got future plans, and they're definitely moving in very good way the Sharks are. So Shaun Johnson won't be a bad buy whatever club he goes to. He's always going to do his best to do the job. So Bulldogs, if that is the case, I think personally it's a good sign and can only hopefully improve their standings. Cade Cust on the Warriors' radar. So as it stands again, the Warriors are reportedly on the lookout for Cade Cust. And for me personally, yeah, look, there could be worse sort of players to get. There could be better ones too, right? But in saying that, you just don't know. He's a young player. I think that works in his advantage. He's a young player. I believe he's 22, 23 years of age. And again, for the Warriors, you're looking for a young player. You're looking for someone who can play in the halves. Obviously, a department that is sorely undermanned at the moment. So from that point of view, I think you've just got to do what you got to do there. My chances of it happening, I think it's pretty high. I think there'll actually be a very sort of I think it's going to happen. In other news, Nick Meaney, Bulldogs fullback, is weighing up whether to stay with the Bulldogs or move the Storm. Look, to be honest, it's actually quite enticing, right? You've got the Bulldogs there with all their drama and everything that's happened the last year or two, and then you've got the Storm there, probably the epitome of professionalism. What do you do? You know, like, is loyalty, is it potentially loyalty versus, I guess, what could be glory, what could be stardom? I don't know. It's quite a tough option there. Look, from a career standpoint, you go to the Storm, right? Simple. Unless he believes that the Bulldogs are genuine contenders in the next coming sort of years, you're not going to go. You're going to stay there. You're going to go to the Storm. They've signed some pretty good players for next year, right? They've got Xavier Coates who's coming, and I'm sure there's going to be more. Nick Meaney would add to that. They've lost Nico Hine, but I mean, hey, they've got Pappenhausen who's coming back. And I'll talk about later on. What do you do if you're Nick Meaney? It's a very tough one, that one. Our favourites, our second rower, TPJ, Devita Bangai Jr., is apparently linked to the West Tigers in a move due to the fact that the Broncos are cleaning house. That's right, a few players are going, and TPJ is apparently one of the victims there. So he will be going to the West Tigers apparently. Look, from my point of view, the West Tigers, I think they're probably more in need of a half pairing that's better. Maybe moving Brooks out. I don't know. Bangai Jr. will definitely add the physicality that they need, and I think the Tigers have a good physical pack. Sure, they might not be the best pack, but they're definitely physical. Obviously not the result against the Storm, but still, stunting is there. Look, I think the signing, if it happens, will be good. Bangai Jr. is from New South Wales too, so I think it'll be like going home type thing. You can't really go wrong there. It's a tough one there, you know, like he'll go there. Will he produce the same stats? He wasn't too bad at the Broncos. He wasn't too bad at the Broncos. I think it was just more so a bit of ill discipline here and there. So, yeah, you just got to sort of watch out, right? It's a bit tough, that one there, but there you go. And Kobe Hetherington from the Broncos is on the lookout as well. Bulldogs are apparently looking for him. Born in New South Wales, raised in Queensland. Could be probably a move he needs. Hetherington as well, as I believe was part of the victims that were told to go. I think for the Bulldogs, look, good tidy player, knows how to tackle, is young, can sort of grow into that role. Could be someone that's developed and turns into a good player, sure. You know, like, again, you just don't know, but you just got to go there. I guess if the Bulldogs, if it's available, you got to look there, right? And last but not least, Jordan Pereira is signed to the Broncos, and good news there for the Broncos, who, again, as mentioned, cleaning house. So they're just trying to get some more recruitable players. Brenko Lee going there next year as well, and obviously, as we know, Adam Reynolds. So the Broncos seem to be very tidy for next year, so they're recruiting well. It just depends on whether their results can sort of mean something at the end of the 80 minutes. So that is where we stand for the signings and the rumours. So yeah, give me your thoughts on that. All right, on to international. So this week we have the England Rugby League team versus the, I guess it's like the All-Stars, Super League All-Stars, like the Exiles, right? like it's players from, I think, around the world bar England, right? My thoughts on that exhibition match: where's France? Where's Wales? Where's Scotland? Where's Ireland? Why is this happening again? Why do the International Rugby League continue to drop the ball instead of holding it and running with it? Sort of similar again to the situation that's happening this week with no NRL and yet just one sort of game in the Origin, and there's no Pacific test, there's no international tests. There's no Italy versus Malta. You just get a bunch of Italian players from Australia and Lebanese players, say, for example, from Australia, and you get them, like, there's nothing there. There's no imagination. There's no nothing. Waste. My thoughts on it personally: what a missed opportunity. Sure, those guys get a run, but what does it mean for the growth of the game? Nothing. International Rugby League, nothing. Zero. It's a spectacle, sure, but it needs to be some sort of relevance. International games. You got the World Cup around the corner. Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Jamaica. Come on. On to miscellaneous news. So, according to the Sydney Morning Herald, the top 5 sledgers in the NRL are Will Chambers, Jerome Luai, Tohu Harris, Josh Maguire, Jazz Tavanga. Obviously, for me as a Warriors fan, it's quite blatantly obvious that I'm actually shocked that Tohu Harris and Tavanga are up there. Why are we sort of running our mouths when things are not happening on the scoreboard or even on the ladder, to say the least? Look, Chambers, sure, he's been there, he's done that. Luai, look, to be honest, I think he's just a confident young man, who's definitely got that spark of brilliance. But as somebody who's on the rise in regards to that position and obviously playing for the Blues, he's going to get a bit of confidence from that young man. And yeah, I'm surprised. Tohu Harris, I didn't think he was much of a vocal person. And there you go, he's in the top 5 of sledging. And maybe we need more leaders than we do sledgers in the Warriors camp. As for Josh Maguire, well, I'm surprised he's actually rated there. He's barely even playing these days. He's suspended every single time he comes back in the field. So, but yeah, hey, there you go. It is what it is. Tavanga, well, yeah, we all know he likes to and have a bit of a sledge, and obviously a bit of a how's your father. So, yeah, again, interesting list to say the least. To be honest, Luai, most likely someone I would pick. Probably Chambers, yeah. But the rest, nah, especially my boys, no way. This is the discussion content now for the Rugby League broadcasting news, where I'm going to just sort of tell you guys what's happened in the news and just have a chat about it. And then you guys can tell me what you guys think. So Sky New Zealand extends their broadcast partnership, and I think that's cool. As someone who's obviously a huge advocate for our Kiwi Rugby League, it's awesome, it's great. The deal lasts till 2027. All NRL, NRLW, State of Origin, and I'm assuming international games will be broadcasted, as well as some selected games during the Anzac and Magic rounds, as well as State of Origin will be actual free to air in New Zealand. So that's great, especially the time difference. Some of these games are really late, and obviously New Zealand is actually in front by a few hours considerably. Especially, it's a good deal overall, and I think it'll work in their favor. There's also this also does equate to the financial side of things. So apparently some of the money can be funded into grassroots rugby league in New Zealand. I want to actually make a separate video to this and sort of give you guys more my feelings, if I try and dissect things and sort of give you guys my thoughts. But generally speaking, I think it's great news. Obviously, grassroots New Zealand is great. Abdo quoted in the article that it's good. It shows that there's growth in New Zealand Rugby League. Yes and no. It's all good and well that people are sitting down and watching it, but if they're not actively participating, that's not really growth. It's just more so views, and that's okay from the financial side, but definitely not from the practical side. So I think this money that is going to be funneled through to New Zealand Rugby League needs to work and needs to get somewhere. But there are steps to do it, and I think, I'm not saying I have the solution, but I think I have an idea. I'd like to throw it around and have you guys sort of think about it. But in saying that, it's good. And also on top of that, could that potentially lead to the expansion team? Could that lead to them? Could that lead to that second New Zealand team? Is this the ladder to it? Because to be fair, it sort of looks like it. But yeah, look, it's really important to highlight though that it's great that the deal is there. New Zealand Rugby League, great, awesome. The viewers there, cool. NRL, great. But what is really important, what needs to be highlighted though, is the fact that this can hopefully, potentially help New Zealand Rugby League, especially through the schooling grassroots system, right? The young kids from, especially the rural areas, especially from the South Island, and so on and so forth. Very, very good, and we need to highlight that. So that's good news. Reece Robson and Taukei'aho are free to play. As we know, over the weekend, Robson against the Sharks and Taukei'aho against the Panthers. Both players were carded for what appeared to be very, I think, non-cardable offences. Reece Robson, the video ref behind that, has apparently could have potentially be fired, according to reports. Look, my opinion on that personally, don't fire him. Literally, PVL is making these rules, man. Why should he be fired or the refs be fired when literally they're the ones that are being told to do this? And if they didn't do that, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know what I mean? And it just shows you again the blatant just stupidity that is now being thrown in front of us. Robson and Taukei'aho are prime examples of what needs to be mitigated and what needs to be sort of just, just let play on. Taukei'aho got carded, went downhill for the Roosters from there, and they were leading 12-0. And as soon as that happened, things went the other way around, and you know the story. You know what I mean? Like, so how do you work this through? Again, what's the point of even carding someone if they're not going to get fined? It's a whole heap of stupidity that we're witnessing as fans here. And again, that Reece Robson one, man, I'm not going to blame the video ref here or the ref. Like, you can't do that. As fans, we can't look at the refs and blame them. I mean, why should we blame them for what? They're only doing what they're told. Peter V'landys and Abdo are the people that are responsible for this. And yet, if they're going to be the ones that are telling these people here who are simply doing their job, doing what they're being directed to do, if they're going to be telling that they're going to be fired, well, why should you even apply to do this? Why would you even want to become a video ref? What if he said play on with Robson? Then what? You know what I mean? Like, then what? He would have potentially been fired again. Like, man, this message of high contact is great and it's brilliant. I understand it. I'm for it in that sense that obviously if you hit someone hard intentionally in an ugly way, off you go, 10 minutes, whatever. But in these instances here, bull, rubbish. Stop it. Can't keep doing that. So unfair, The onus should not be on the player who is tackling the player who is falling down. What can you do to change his position? The onus shouldn't be on the referee or the video ref who's been told from PVL directly to send these guys out. It's absolute rubbish, man. Carnage is what we're looking at. Another one I want to look at as well is Rawa Lawa. That is the winger for the Dragons. Has been suspended for 4 weeks in a tackle that I thought was, damn, that's the type of tackle when you see someone hit like that, you go over, you tap them on the back. Congrats, bro. Good hit, mate. You know what I mean? Like, he's getting 4 weeks for that. Shoulder charge. What shoulder? What did he do wrong? He just shoulder charged his legs? If you're the Raiders, okay, if you're a Raiders fan looking at this, or if you know any Raiders fans who are looking at it, ask them. Do they think it was warranted 4 weeks? Because I'll tell you what, man, I've seen rougher hits being let go by the NRL over the years. Even this year, I've seen rougher hits in other forms, in other sort of levels of rugby league. And this is the one that gets him 4 weeks. Disgusting. Pathetic. Pathetic. I want to control myself here. I'm not going to explode. But that's just absolutely stupid. That is not the way to go about it. That is a hit that you tap on the back. Good hit. More of it next time. 4 weeks. Come on. Is this the NRL? Is this really rugby league? I've even been reading on social media as well, people saying that it's the blue collar game that we know it, slowly dying. Well, I mean, this to me appears to be very very posh. Dare I even say it? It's turning very posh. Very posh. It's very posh behavior. That's how I view it. You may disagree, and that's okay. But that's what I'm interpreting it as, posh behaviour. Rawalawa had a great tackle, I believe. Smacked him well, should have kept on playing. Now he's got 4 weeks off for that. That's not holding the ball at all. That is not holding the ball at all. I'm not pleased with it. The NRL rules are an absolute mess. They're a car crash, they're a horror show. People are turning away massive numbers. It's not great, but that's what I'm here for, to give you guys my opinions and to sort of, show you guys how I feel. I'm not happy about it. It's rubbish. All right, another one as well. The classical 6 again. Look, a lot of people have been voicing their opinion. Some are against it, some are for it. Some say that it has no relation to the outcome of the game. Some say it does. Look, my point of view, it's fast, right? Obviously, if you're on a back foot, it doesn't work in your favor. But I mean, how do you describe then that Manly game against Titans when sort of Manly came back? And again, I'm not saying I'm defending him. I'm just giving you guys examples. And obviously other examples can be Melbourne against Rabbitohs, right? Or even Melbourne against the Tigers. I don't know, like the 6 again rule to me, it's all right. Like it's not too bad. I have no real feeling towards it. I don't think the game is ruined by that. I think the game is ruined by more things, probably deeper sort of concerns than the 6 again. You know, and then obviously these rules, these chat about the potential to actually kick, so the try scorers kick the ball off as opposed to the people who've been scored against, you know, the try conceders. Man, that's getting crazy, I'm telling you, man. It's like a weird science experiment. It's just getting uglier and uglier, and the people behind it, so the scientists, are getting more crazier and crazier, and they look at this invention that they created and they're smiling and they're happy, and us as the people watching this experiment from the outside, what's going on? Look, not too pleased with it, with the 6 again, but at the same time, look, I don't know. I think these I think the rules in general are probably need some tweaking. But overall, I'm gonna be honest. I actually like the faster game. To be quite frank, I like it. All right, I guess another one as well. The last sort of 2 last discussions. We've got the concussion. Obviously, Pappenhausen, who's coming back, and obviously the recent retirement of Boyd Cordner as well, which I didn't get to. Again, congrats Cordner on a terrific career. A career that is probably going to go down arguably as one of the elite in regards to some of the records that he has as a player, going back-to-back State of Origin, NRL, as well as being captain. I don't believe that's ever been done before. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. But obviously he ended his career early due to concussion, and so did Jake Friend. And obviously Pappenhausen is walking a fine line, and there's actually a few players who are. What do we do to solve that solution? Do we go NFL style, wear helmets? Obviously not, but you get what I mean? Like, concussions are always going to be part of the game. How do you mitigate the factor? PVL saying tackle low is silly, because sometimes that's where the worst head knocks come from. And number 2, guess what? That's where you offload. Back in the day, sure, probably would have worked, right? But now I think every single prop and their cat can offload now in the NRL. So it's a different sort of a game altogether, as opposed to what it would be in like probably even 10 years ago, or going back to the 90s, and you know, so on. It doesn't quite work for me, even though I get what PVL is saying. It doesn't quite work for me. With Pappenhausen and all those players, you know, Wade Graham and stuff, it's sad to see. Positive is, though, obviously with these concussions, you can always come back, but the negative thing, though, is that when you come back, are you ever really the same person? You know, do you sort of deteriorate even worse? Like, I'm sure you do, right? I'm sure you do. CTE and everything like that is very real. I mean, look, for me personally, it's rugby league. I love the game. I love this game very much. But there is a beauty and a darkness to this game. And this is the reality of it, right? It's a contact sport. Surprise. Concussions are going to be part of this game, whether you like it or not. Why? Human error is, dude, it's as common as the sun rising. And so is concussion, and so will be players who get more affected to it than others. I'm sure there are some players who are playing now that are trying to hide their battles, perhaps, You know, like, I don't know, like, it's just so crazy. You got players who want to play because it's what they earn in their income, and then they get like a concussion and they're going to try push to play. Like, it's such a gladiator sport, man. Like, respect to these guys. I will never, ever, ever disrespect a player for playing rugby league. You know, like, these dudes are tough men. But that's the beauty of it. We love the physicality, the collision, the pace. But you got to remember, there's two human bodies there. There's just human bodies running out there, right? And this is bound to happen. My thoughts on it, personally, PVL can't. I think V'landys can only get so strict on this because at the end of the day, you're going to be crossing a fine line between tackling and non-tackling if you get to a certain point. And I believe that that's the reason why the breaks are being sort of pressed now. Because, yeah, sooner or later, it's going to have to be touch football if you keep trying to stamp it out. What is it? It's going to be held? It's going to be just like a grab game now as opposed to actual takedown? Yeah, as I was saying, you know, just going back to it, it's sad. It sucks. I can only hope that those who come back are better and can look after themselves. But what is the solution? I don't know. You know, my discussions around concussion is just sort of highlighting that it is there, it exists. But as to what we do with it, I just don't know. I don't know. But we're going to keep watching it, aren't we? Because we love the game. And you don't watch the game to see players knock themselves out cold. And it's not why I watch it. It's part of the game, sure. And obviously, given the context as well, it can be pretty brutal and, oh yeah, cool. But I'm not going out there, I'm not watching the game hoping that this guy here gets knocked out, that guy there gets knocked out. At the end of the day, we've got to remember that these are guys with actual lives, right? Outside the league arena. And yeah, look, I don't know what to say there. That's just my thoughts on concussion. It's tough one there. There's no real answer. You know, the only answer really is to turn it to touch, and we don't want that. There you go. And last but not least, I've got some California Rugby League news coming, all right? Stay tuned because I've got some really massive news coming. For those of you who have actually watched it this long, thank you. That is the surprise. I'm actually going to be featuring in some things related to California Rugby League, and I'm looking forward to it, absolutely. And I cannot wait to sort of show you guys what's happening in the future there. And man, it's awesome. It's massive news. And as told before, they've got their World Rugby League Championship happening this week. It's going to be the kickoff is between LA Mongrel and the Sacramento Immortal. And again, let's get into it. But I cannot wait. It's a league that's their first sort of, you know, basis has been 2018-19. And they've just carried on strongly from there. So please be aware and please look out for it. California Rugby League is the one. So I'll be involved in that. So please keep an eye out on it. But look, that is the discussion for now. That is sort of like the rugby league broadcasting news done for now. I've given you guys a bit of my opinion anyway. But hey, feel free to tell me guys what you think. Again, discussion is important. It's a great thing. I'm always free to have discussions and engagements, agreements, disagreements. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm close to 80. If you can help me get to 80, that'll be great. 80, 90, 100, it'll be awesome. I'm trying to think of something to do when I get to 100. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm just looking forward to that. But in saying that, more content coming on its way. Don't you worry. Just because there's no NRL doesn't mean the content ain't coming. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. Take it easy. And hey, just remember, hold the ball. Have a good one. See you guys next time. And another news as well, breaking news apparently. Chad Townsend has officially signed with the Warriors for the official remainder. Chad Townsend has